Okay, YouTube land, what's good? This is your host from the Gulf Coast doing the most. Donte.
And Shellie.
We are the yin and yang of Short-Term Rentals podcast. So sit back and relax and enjoy the show. Booyaka, booyaka, booyaka. Animal noises.
Darn fools.
And cut.
Well, look who made it back. Yo, thank you for supporting the channel. We got a bunch of episodes filled with info on how we host, funny guest story with your boy Tay, current news with Shellie, and special guest appearances. Also feature some local music artists for the outro, so make sure you stick around to the end, my friend, and peep all the links in the description. Dropping gems. So sit back and relax and enjoy the show. All right. Welcome to the yin and yang of Short-Term Rentals podcast. And this is your host from the Gulf Coast doing the most, Donte, but the family can call me Tay. And want to introduce to you. Is that funny, guys? Is that funny? All right, they already cracking on me. Let me get through the intro, please.
Let me just ask this question. The family can call you Tay. But when somebody on the street call you that, you're not going to answer?
No, man. I'm like, is you fam? Is you fam? Were you at the cookout?
Did you bring some potato salad?
Did you bring something or you just there? You a +1, my bro?
Donte, you.
+1s is Donte. You got to come to 3 before you can call me Tay. That's how I know you permanent. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, so like I was saying, I want to introduce the queen of the pod, the lovely
Shellie. Oh, I love the queen of the pod. That made me feel a certain kind of way.
That was new. You're welcome.
We gonna have to stay with that. Queen Shellie, I like it.
Y'all should see the smile on her face right now.
That's right, QS baby. Let me go and get me a new plate for my car. All right. So before we get into this,
right,
I'm gonna handle some of the housekeeping because that's what moms do.
Yeah.
So make sure you like this video. Make sure you drop something in the comment that you want to hear us talking about. And make sure you subscribe so you don't miss anything. Hit that notification button so as soon as it drops, you already know.
Yes, sir.
And share it with your friends.
And we definitely appreciate everybody coming to listen. And today we got another special guest. And I'm going to have Shellie introduce her. And she's going to add a lot of value to this pod. So, Shellie, let's go ahead and list our guest's resume and credentials.
Well, let me tell you, this guest needs no introduction for some of us.
Hold on. So we don't got to introduce her then? I'm just messing with you. I'm sorry.
I fam do.
People always say that.
I guess because I'm in the fam, I don't need no intro.
Don't introduce me.
That's actually a good point. No introduction, then don't even introduce them. Just start talking. That is funny. All right. Okay.
This is why I got in trouble in school.
You're right. I never thought about that. That's right. If they don't need no. Okay. So let me say this. I'm going to present.
Okay.
I'm going to present someone who we have known for years. And, low key, sleeping on our skills. I would just say I would have been sleeping on our skills. But this young lady has worked with Sephora. She has worked with Sarah Jakes Roberts clothing brand, XO Nicole. She has worked with Hairbrella, Curvology. Curvology. Look, I can't even say it.
New words.
Coops Pillows, Inspiration Co., Good Molecule Skincare. She has a strong resume, Small Fry Creations. She's worked with Glam Hairstyles. And of course, she has worked with Navarre Glam Getaway.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yes.
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 And so
Partners.
none other than Sarah from Social Butterfly Social Media Marketing. Welcome.
Thank you for having me on. I'm so excited to be in the house with the queen
Well, come on.
and Donte. Excuse me, Tay.
Yeah, she can call me.
Did you bring some potato salad?
I brought the drinks. Brought the drinks.
You good. All right, so, and, I know that, Sarah, you have been working with Miss Shellie already, and I'm still new to your talents and value you add. So can you give us a little backstory of like what you do and why you got started?
Yes. So what I do is I provide social media management and marketing services specifically for small businesses. So essentially what I provide is I add personal branding to the small businesses so they can be seen across social media. That is so important. But why I got started in it is I seen there was a lack between the visibility of small businesses coming from a personal branding and blogging background. When you're a personal brand, it's easy to build those relationships with people online because you're a person, you're sharing your personal interests. Right. They don't really see you as a small business, even though you are a small business. But when it's an actual small business, like a t-shirt company, a hairstylist, or Airbnb, that kind of thing, it's really disheartening to see that they don't get the same type of attention when the same type of tools are available to them. So when I was observing this online, I was like, okay, my friends need this information because it is so useful and so helpful. So I literally one day randomly just drafted up some little post on my personal page and was like, hey, I just want to throw this information out there. And people really, they really thought it was helpful. And they were saying, wow, I've been online, but I did not know that these things mattered. This information is useful. I'm going to try it out. And people were trying it out. And they
Now,
were
by
saying,
people, you mean owners of small business?
Owners of small businesses were
Okay.
trying the tips out and seeing the results from my tips. Now, some of them, I actually had a few people reach out to me saying, do you do managing? And I'm like, no. There's one person that I was like, yes, I'll do your managing. But the others, I was like, no, it never crossed my mind to do managing. I was just like, I just wanted to be helpful and give this information to you. And so that's kind of where I started. Started out doing it for free for a family friend. And wow, she was really surprised. I was not surprised, but also it was very rewarding to see the results when I started applying what I had learned from personal branding to the small business aspect of it.
Now, I'm going to interject a little bit just because you drop stuff that I feel like is good to highlight and to kind of double down on. You got into the space, but you did stuff for free in the beginning.
Yes.
And I think a lot of people have a little bit of uncomfortableness with that idea of like working for free. But why did you choose in the beginning to do free work?
Because I love doing it. Like, I mean, it's literally that simple. When you love doing something, the dollars don't matter. Work. It doesn't feel like work. It really does not feel like work. And so, honestly, I poured my heart and soul into what I was doing as if it was my own personal social media space. And just to be able to share that gift with another person whose small business is a part of their income, is a part of their family, is a part of what they do on a daily basis, that is so rewarding.
Right.
Coins are nice, but,
Coins are nice.
Just being able to use something that I'm very passionate about to help someone else is really the most rewarding thing.
And those are kind of people
that I like to support. It's like service is the core of any business. It's like you're providing a good or a service. So you doing it for the right reasons is like the people I like supporting. So I'm glad to hear an answer like that. But I'm also wondering, did you have an idea that you were going to be operating as a business, or did that just come after kind of you doing it?
So funny story. I actually
Listen, we love story time.
so
Story time.
funny story. So the person that I am managing their page for, I was like
One of
one of the many. I was like, please do not tell anybody. I'm just okay being behind the scenes. I really I just like being on social media, but not being on social media. I like doing the work, figuring things out. And she's like, okay, cool. So we had this little kosher, nice agreement for about a year.
Okay.
And my client actually made a product for Shellie's Airbnb.
Navarre Glam Getaway.
And so when she sent me the video, I was like, oh, I know Shellie outside of this realm. So I was like, I know her through church. So I was like, oh, this is Minister Bacon's Airbnb. I was like, I'm going to post this, tag her Instagram, because that's just kind of how you do a networking thing. So I tagged it, and
Wait a minute. Tell them how many followers I had on Instagram at this time.
so at this time, she only, was it like 25?
I don't even think it was that.
Listen.
I think it was 3.
Dog.
Me, man. Because he ain't even on Instagram. I think it was your mom.
I'm hollering. So I was like, I'm gonna tag her, so, you know, blah, 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 just doing my thing. And literally, so my client didn't even tell me that she had, blown my cover. So Shellie calls me one day. She's like, hi. So I seen that video, and someone told me that you do social media, the person that you posted that video for. And I was like, kind of, I really wasn't giving 100%, if I'm being honest, because I was just like, honestly, I was really nervous about it, just because I was just nervous. Yeah. And so she was like, well, I really want I want your services. I really liked what you did with tagging me. I think that is valuable to my small business. I'm trying to get more visibility. Is that something you can help me with? I'm like, sure, yeah. So I didn't tell you this when we had our meetings. Literally hung up the phone and I screamed. I was like, and let me tell you on the phone, when Shellie called me, I literally offered her my services for free.
Right.
And she refused. She's like, I absolutely will not be taking your services for free, because you deserve to be paid for what you're doing.
That's right.
So I had a little lump in my throat, a little tear in my eye. I was like, oh my God.
Please govern yourselves for their church announcements.
Wow.
We'd like for you to hit the like button. It helps us with the algorithm, especially for a new channel like us. And Donte's experienced a lot of rejection, so he needs some likes in his life.
Somebody like me, please.
Also, please subscribe. Hit the notification button so you'll know when something new drops. Our giveaways are specific to our subscribers, so please subscribe so you can participate.
And ask us some questions. Leave us some comments.
Don't forget to share, because sharing is caring.
Sharing is caring.
Now back to our regularly scheduled programming.
No, I mean, I think that's like a beautiful story, because not everybody has an individual who really pushes them to do that. And I think it's also good to surround yourself around other people who do business, because those are people who typically will be like, you got to do it.
Yeah.
You got to push it. And she was nice enough just to be your first. But, when I was doing my other business, I had another artist who was like, you got to start demanding compensation for your services, because there's no, like, if you don't value it.
There you go.
That's what she said. Nobody else will.
Yeah. So I it's awesome that she gave you that. But hopefully now you're in a space to where now you can go there. But that's a great way to start. I mean, surround yourself with good people is also a big part of being a business person. It's just like they help you out.
Oh yeah. And
It's really communal, I think, or it can be, or it should be.
Yeah.
Let's say that it is. You know, she's a giver, clearly,
Obviously.
right? And I don't think other people were being takers in any way.
right. No, absolutely
But
not.
it's a mindset.
Mhm.
It's a mindset. And so, yes, absolutely, you enjoy what you do. And you do that because that's your passion and you enjoy it and you invest all this. And I know you're going to relate to that. You invest time, you invest money, you invest energy, you invest research, you da-da-da-da-da. And then you're pouring in and pouring in and pouring in. Guess what? You're going to be depleted at some point, even though you get satisfaction and joy,
Oh yeah.
right? Time is money. Remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so you're pouring a lot of time, a lot of energy, a lot of knowledge, a lot of experience that guess what? I don't have to do because you're doing it. So if I'm getting compensation from what I'm producing, why should you?
Right.
Yeah.
And what I do love about her social media marketing, when she came with her pitch, she was on top of her game. She was there. She was, you know, she came with her laptop. She came with her presentation, and I'm gonna let you talk to them about, you know, some of that. But what I loved about hers is she has packages and she is a la carte.
Mm-hmm.
So it really is, she really is prepared to address you at whatever financial level you are.
Yeah. I mean, she sounds like she was ready. She was ready for that.
She
next
was
step.
ready, but not knowing she was ready, I think.
Right.
You're right.
And it really, I feel like it was like a door and it was waiting for the right key to be unlocked. And I feel like when me and you connected on this level, that was like the right key to be like, okay, now it's time
Right.
to open this door
Yeah.
because you have something.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that to be arrogant. You know, I'm just saying like,
You do.
And you
Right.
understood, you understood what it was because you had gone through a certain amount of time to where you polished your service and stuff to where you're like, oh, this is actually something. Then you got the confirmation from Shellie that, yeah, this is something of
Right.
value. And now it's like, now I want to get into the operation. Like, what are these packages? You know, what are these different things? Because most people are not going to even know how much thought and, you know, coordination and, you know, the varieties of things a social media marketer and manager can do. But for me, you know, marketing is probably one of the biggest things a business needs to put time and money and energy into. And it's difficult to do it when you're doing other things. So outsourcing that is one of those expenses that I do start to, I mean, I spend more on marketing than I ever in my life right now. And I don't even try to think about it because it's like the money will come back.
Right.
And I think that a lot of people who are in this space with rentals, short-term rentals, they need to think more outside the box of traditional marketing, especially in our area. I mean, you talked about the lack, and I kind of want to know why you saw a lack, because I saw a lack in a lot of things too. I mean, that's why I'm even doing this.
right.
It's like, this is not just fun. It's marketing. It's a lot of things in one thing. And you like, there's only a couple people doing this
Right.
in our area.
In our area. And again, we go back to the communal thing because you're big on community. I'm big on community. She's big on community. Like,
Yeah.
you know, we are not those people who are like, I'm just going to keep that to myself. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
We're very, I think you guys grew up in this because, you know.
Well, we're
I know
the
y'all's
social media
parents.
age.
Well, and then I know y'all's parents.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So I'm younger than both of their parents, by the way. I just need to put that out there.
She is.
She's big sis.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. So I know y'all's parents, so I know you know, the community that you guys, you know, were incubated and grew up and nurtured in, right? And even my kids, is like there's this thing. And so when they go somewhere else, I'm like, oh, that's listen, you not they don't do that. I gotta bring y'all back because I'm so hood. So I have both, right? And because they grew up in this, la 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 la, everybody helps each other.
That Disney?
I'm like, nah, sit down, Smurfette.
Yeah.
That's Gargamel out there.
Yeah.
That's Gargamel
That's a
out
Smurf.
there. You
Oh,
gotta
man.
step. That's
She threw
Gargamel.
it back with that
He gonna
Smurf
put you in a
reference.
soup. You know what I'm saying? So no, we.
Shout out to everybody who know the Smurf reference.
Yes, yes.
That's a whole nother thing
That's
that's
a whole
dating
other
me a little bit.
Yo, hey, I know about that. Smurf that.
Yeah, so I'm like, no, that's Gargamel out there. So when they come back, they're like, oh, man, they, yeah, that's how they do out in them streets. So we're communal.
Yeah.
And I love that it was one of your visions for this podcast to, take our conversations and put it out there so that we can help and invite people in our community so that other people can hear what they have going on.
Yes.
But yeah, let's talk about your awesome packages.
So I have one package price. So let me preface this by saying, so when I stepped over into the social media management field, I did some research, and I can tell you this could be very pricey. Like we're talking $1,200 a month for one social media platform for one social media manager. So this is severely affordable, but in the best way because it needs to be. So the package I offer is $175 a month, which can include 2 platforms, any 2 platforms that we come up with that would be best for your business model. In that package, depending on the platform, but we're sticking with Facebook and Instagram for this example. 2 reels, which is 8 reels per month, 2 static posts a week, which is 8 static posts a month, 3 stories, which is 12 stories posted for you a month. I do video editing, original branded content, location content curation, and also a monthly status report. And then also I do a 30-day free trial. And so
with a signed agreement for 90 days.
Yes, with a signed agreement for 90 days. And so my a la carte services that I have, platform audit, which can range from $40 to $100, post engagement, which is $20 per day, content calendar, which is $25 per calendar that you need, and something that I have actually been requested to add to my individual services is digital flyers. So if you need a flyer for an event, if you need flyers made to print out, I do that. And then post management, just if you have your social media, but you just need someone to post for you, if you have your own content, but you're like, hey, I don't have time to be posting.
Because you got to be consistent and regular with that
right.
kind of thing. So really start to see the gain and momentum get built from that.
Exactly. And so I offer 3 posts per week, which is $60, or 5 posts per week, which is $100. And so I believe these are very affordable after I peeped what's going on out there. I don't want to rip people off because, even though I believe small businesses are big businesses, at the end of the day, it's like, a mom and pop. We don't want to rip off a mom and pop. We want to get you seen out there, but I'm not trying to rip people out. I'm really trying to provide my services to help you.
Right.
And so that's how I came up with that pricing. And so, yeah.
And I'm going to just say that's today's pricing because even when she did her pitch for me, she was probably about to go into this whole thing about what it normally costs. Now, I don't really necessarily know what it normally costs, but unlike you, I've been in business for years, right? And understanding that in business, a big piece of your budget generally is marketing.
Yeah.
And so when she was, handing me her bag, she probably was like, okay, this joker just handed me the paper bag. I'm like, say less. I didn't even need all that.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
you understood that there's going to be a cost, but I'm looking more towards what's going to be the return than necessarily what I'm going to spend right now.
That, and again, we're talking about short-term rentals.
Mm-hmm.
So let's just call a spade a spade. It is free for you to post your place on Airbnb.
Right. Yeah.
They pull out something as you're booking.
Right.
Correct? As that person is booking. So putting your place out there on a weekly, monthly, whatever, that doesn't cost you anything. Same thing for VRBO.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Same thing for Expedia, Booking.com, all of those things, you are putting it out there with no initial cost, right? There's one that there's initial cost that I use, Furnish Finders. That's it. And even that, extremely affordable. You pay once for the year, right? So the reality is, with the pricing structures, you could, one booking could pay for that month. You see what I'm saying?
Facts.
So if you're saying you get 8 static posts and 8 reels and 3 stories, listen, I was like, what the flip is a reel? Right? Like, that's how far off I was. So what's a reel? What's this story about? So that's how I was not even on social media until, the whole,
And a lot
Airbnb
of businesses,
thing.
a lot of business owners are, especially if they're more, depending on when they started, and you could really operate business used to operate without it,
Yeah.
So it's
That's
like
true.
Social media in itself is relatively new in the business.
Sure.
Yeah.
So you can certainly operate, but now
Yes.
you can.
But the ones who
Yeah,
are on it,
it's a significant difference, and there's a significant time investment in doing that. You're trying to work your business,
yes.
and
Do the marketing on social media, man. I can tell you stories.
And she is so great because I feel like she does way more than what she just talked about.
Yeah, so
like,
if y'all are trying to work with her, y'all need to get it ASAP.
Right. Get on the ground floor because that's her price now because she's got time to take people and da-da-da.
I didn't seen the prices of other people.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And not only, again, I'm just going to own it. Like, I feel that she feels like a partner. Mm-hmm. She doesn't operate as, okay, this is my business. I really feel like she partners with me.
Yeah.
My success, she feels is her success. That's how she is about it. She gets excited about it. Someone sends a message and she's like, oh, please tell them. Oh, not the crazy guy.
Okay.
Yeah, we both knew he was crazy. He was trying to have us on the back of a cereal or milk carton or something.
Oh, he was.
Yeah. We both.
Was he looking for some chocolate bunnies?
Listen.
He was looking for some chocolate bunnies.
Yeah, well, listen. He wasn't ready for this one. But I think both of our spidey senses started, being like, nah, that ain't right. But the designer.
Oh, yes. Okay.
Yeah, you gotta tell us about that.
So in Shellie's Airbnb, if you don't know, it is all the bedrooms are royal themed, which I absolutely love. So there is this one particular bedroom, which besides the princess quarters is my favorite, the Duke's quarters, that we were waiting for her to finish decorating. And then we were just going to do a reveal on social media. I mean, and this room is beautiful. I mean, marble rugs. Something we have not captured yet is the hanging mirrors. It's like, I can't remember what we called it, but
it's like a floating
effect. Mirror effect, the bed. Really the vibes, chef's kiss, immaculate.
Now, everybody listening, I want you to hold your horses and your britches. We gotta call this episode part 1, because this episode's a biggie. And we gonna cut this son of a gun in half like a foot-long sub or a Starbucks bagel. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Bring your appetites and tune in next week so we can serve y'all this wonderful plate of part 2. Y'all stay safe out there. Till next time.
Yeah.
My dearest woman, this old house is damned to hell. Let it go too long without a care. Let's put some work into it, won't take long, it's overdue. Make this old house like new again. Paint started peeling off the walls, 3